I am on my way out the door to San Francisco to fly to Argentina. I am taking the Aeromexico flight from San Francisco down to Buenos Aires, and I'm flying business class. So I'm going to show you what the business lounges look like at San Francisco and in Mexico City DF, because I will be landing there for the layover as we head down to South America. And I hope it'll be fun. I'm sure it will. I mean, who doesn't love to fly business class? All right, just got to San Francisco International Terminal, and we're walking over to the Aeromexico desk to check in. And it looks like they do have a business class line, I think. So I'm not gonna lie, if you think that I feel embarrassed filming myself walking through public places, always. I always feel embarrassed. All right, after being in that lounge, which by the way was pretty disappointing. So the business class lounge here for Aeromexico is shared with like KLM and Air France and Qantas and a bunch of other ones, and it's not really that great. There's another lounge here that Turkish Airlines uses that I've used, and that is far superior. So now we're gonna go to the gate. So far, Aeromexico is kind of disappointing because for a night flight in business class, they are not flying a bigger plane where they can do the lay down seats. So that's pretty frustrating. I mean, they are like regular business class, like domestic size seats, but not international, especially for a night flight. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's like a 4-hour flight to Mexico City, a layover, and then down to Buenos Aires.
Confinement fasten your seatbelts. At this time, all electronic devices, especially cell phones, must be in flight mode. Executives ayudaría.
Okay, so far it's weird because the headphone jack doesn't work in the seat, so I have to plug it into the monitor so that it's like draped way in front of me. So I don't know, we haven't even taken off yet and I'm finding issues. We will see what other issues we find as we take this flight. Okay, so another super annoying thing that they do is you're watching a movie, right, like a feature film, you're watching one, and then they just start commercials in the middle of it, like you're on TV, but you're not. It's weird. Like, of all the airlines I've ever been on, I've never seen somebody play ads in the middle of feature films that you're watching. All right, just got off the first flight. We're in Mexico City, going through customs, and then on the way to the next flight. Just got through customs, and my flight to Buenos Aires isn't for almost 5 hours, so we're gonna go find the lounge. I think Aeromexico, because this is their hub, has a really good lounge here, so I'm excited to find it, but it might be a little tricky. All right, I think I found it, and of course, they searched through my bags and wondered why I had so many cameras and so many batteries. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. Gracias. We're just beautiful creatures, singing loudly on the floor. We could dance. No sugar-free Red Bull. What do I do? Oh yay, more food. this lounge is kind of disappointing too. Like, I don't know what's going on with today's lounges. Oh, gracias. Ooh, muy fresca. Sandía. I think my problem is I'm always comparing it to the Turkish Airlines lounge in Istanbul. That was probably the most incredible lounge. It was like huge. They had like movie theaters, like a million different ways to eat food, and just crazy. It was just so massive. So I came to the bathroom, and again, the bathroom leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, it doesn't smell good. It's just like, I don't know. You know what I need to do? I need to find the footage from the Istanbul lounge that Turkish Airlines has there, and then you will have an idea of what I'm talking about, like the comparison. So let me find it. Pretty bathroom. Okay, so when I think about a lounge, that's what I'm thinking of. And then there's this lounge. And here they have 2 bars, and then like a big refrigerator with drinks, and then just like a small little area for buffet style food. And then they have a lot of seating, which seems really impacted right now. But overall, like, I don't know. It's just not like a place that I want to spend a ton of time. Like, I just want to get to the flight. So I just moved location so that I could have like a sofa kind of bench area. Because I'm going to lay down and sleep for a little bit because I didn't really get any rest on that first flight from San Francisco, and I have a while until the next flight. All right, we just left the lounge and now we're going to walk over to the gate, and they should be boarding shortly because the flight is supposedly supposed to take off in like 25 minutes. So we'll see. Oh, I'm so tired. Hola. Okay, gracias. ¿Qué vemos? Oh, 3F. Oh, ahí. Gracias. Hopefully we can get more sleep on this flight than we did on the last one, because this one actually lays down flat, but it's going to be during the day, so we'll see. The toiletry kit just came, so we'll play with that. This is everything that comes in the kit. We are in the bathroom in the business class section of the plane, and I am going to just get my face ready for some sleeping. I did the night flight last night and I didn't get much rest, and so I'm going to lay my bed down and sleep. And so of course I just want to do some quick skincare stuff.
Looking for nobody else. I've got one thing on my mind. I already hear the bells. Everything
I've been liking this enzyme powder foaming cleanser from Amore Pacific. It's great for traveling because it comes out in a powder and then you just like cleanse your face with it with water. Of course, I forgot a hair tie. Okay, so I also have the Amore Pacific serum to go along with it. I got these in like a kit from Sephora, so it just makes it easy for traveling. It's kind of like a milky lotion. It's not even a serum, it's called a cream fluid. It's definitely creamy and it's definitely a fluid. Then I have this thing. This is not the Nurse Jamie wand. This is just like a cheap knockoff from Amazon. But sometimes I just like to help with lymphatic drainage, especially on flights. One of my favorite sprays is the Caudalie face mist. They call it the beauty elixir. I just love traveling with it. I have like a bunch of bottles of this all over my house. I'm going to top with the Embryolace face cream. And then I brought the Shiseido eye masks. I know, I'm an embarrassment walking around. I'm gonna go back out into the cabin and people are gonna be like, what's wrong with her? And just like that, in-flight skincare is done and ready for rest. Alright, we made it to Buenos Aires. Now let's go get our luggage, go through customs, and meet Carolina. You guys, I made it. Here's Carolina from Natural Chaos. We're gonna have the best time this week. Doing skin stuff. They're going to eat. I'm so hungry. Okay, so after that flight, I am in Buenos Aires, or actually La Plata, which is like 30 minutes south of Buenos Aires. And I just wanted to talk about my Aeromexico experience and just, you know, my thoughts on the whole thing. So number one, I used GFU to book my flight to Argentina using Aeromexico. And if you're not familiar with business class tickets and rates, usually they can vary from like the low fours, sometimes high threes, to $8,000. Like it's just all over the board, especially whoever you're flying. Like if you're flying Emirates or Singapore business class, you're going to spend on the higher end. And if you're flying something like Aeromexico or Copa or a few other brands kind of in that range, you're going to be in the mid to upper threes. Because I booked through GFU, I actually got my business class ticket from San Francisco to Buenos Aires for $2,600, which is an incredible deal. So I'm not going to knock Aeromexico too much because I feel like for $2,600, it was money well spent. I was able to sleep on the long haul flight. Overall, like that's the number one thing, right? Now, if I was spending $5,000 or $4,000 on that flight, I would have felt very taken, because in comparison to other brands that I've flown like Turkish and Emirates and United, their business class is so much better. Number one, Aeromexico's food, although it was edible, which I would say in coach, I never eat airline food. In Aeromexico's business class section, it was edible. Does that mean that it felt really high end? No. But like on other brands that I've flown, they bring out like the most incredible food. Like you feel like you're eating in a restaurant, like a high end 5-star restaurant. That is not how the food is on Aeromexico. Yes, it is edible, but it is not the same caliber. In fact, the second meal, they brought me a BLT sandwich. I couldn't eat it. Like, the mayonnaise was weird. Like, it was just, I mean, they brought a sandwich. That's just weird. So it's things like that where I'm like, okay, $2,600, still fine. But if I had spent more, like other people probably on that flight, I would have felt like, this is just ridiculous. Also, their stewardesses were not the kindest. Now, they weren't horrible. It was just the way they would respond to me. And I was the only American, I believe, in our cabin, or at least from what I could tell. And so the way they would respond to me was more abrupt. And that could have been cultural, but at the same rate with Turkish or Emirates, which would also be cultural, they are the kindest, most accommodating. So I also felt like in that regard, like they just weren't that helpful. Like even from the fact of like, they never offered to put up my bags above or take my jacket and hang it or anything like that. Like I just like got into the cabin and they were just like, they didn't even offer me a drink. Like they just did not care that I was there. So maybe that was just me and it was an off day for whoever was supposed to be servicing my seat, but it might not be. I don't know. This was my first experience with Aeromexico. I did not think their lounge was great. Mexico City is their hub. Their lounge there should have been amazing. It was not. It was mediocre at best. I just can't believe they don't step it up there. So overall, my feelings on the whole thing. Would I book them again? Yes. I would book them again because the price was right. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't look for alternatives flying this route, even if those alternatives were slightly more expensive within reason, because I just didn't feel like Aeromexico was a great experience. It was a decent experience, but overall, like, I will always be looking for alternatives coming down here if I can get them in a reasonable rate. Now, I'm not going to pay double, but if I can pay $500 more and fly something that's going to be more enjoyable, then that's what I'm going to look for. So I hope this gave you a good idea on the flight from San Francisco on Aeromexico's business class to Buenos Aires. And I will see you guys soon. Oh, and if you're interested in GFU and what I use, I always link to it below, so you can go check it out. If you're a business traveler, you should really look into it because I always save on business class tickets around $1,000, and that is where great margin is. So if you're looking for savings on business class tickets or on hotel rooms or cars or Airbnb type residences, it's an awesome thing to use. I've already saved about $5,000 this year booking with them, and I'm only 10 months into the year. So I'll see you guys soon and have a great day. And please like and subscribe if you are interested and like the type of videos I make. Bye guys.
If I can't have you, I don't want you to have anyone. And if you don't want me, there's something wrong with them, right? Maybe I got problems that I don't tell anyone. Have I lost my perception? Feel like I wanna do something wrong now. Packing all your belongings.
One of my favorite sprays. Oh no.